Gideon, the reluctant warrior who became God's mighty deliverer. Every generation faces giants, trials that seem impossible, enemies too powerful, and fears too heavy to carry. In the days of the judges, Israel was once again trapped in a cycle of sin, slavery, sorrow, and salvation. The Midianites, cruel oppressors, would swoop into Israel like a swarm of locusts, stealing crops, destroying land, and leaving God's people in hunger and despair. For 7 years, Israel cowered. But God, in His mercy, raised up a deliverer. Not a general, not a king, not even a confident warrior, but a fearful farmer named Gideon. This is the story of how a man hiding in fear became a hero of faith, and how God can do the same with us today. The state of Israel, Judges 6 verses 1 to 6. Israel had sinned again, turning to idols after the death of Deborah. As a result, God gave them into the hands of the Midianites. The Midianites were nomadic raiders who came during harvest seasons. Imagine working months to grow food only to have it stolen. Families hid in caves. Farmers threshed wheat in secret. The land groaned under fear. This is where we meet Gideon, not on a battlefield, but hiding in a wine press, secretly threshing wheat, fearful, doubtful, and defeated. Yet God had chosen him. Gideon's call, Judges 6 verses 11 to 16. The angel of the Lord appeared and declared, "The Lord is with you, mighty man of valor." Mighty? Gideon? He was hiding, but God wasn't speaking to Gideon's current state. God was speaking to his potential, to who he would become. Gideon argued back, asking why God had abandoned Israel. The angel replied, "Go in this thy might and deliver Israel." God doesn't call the qualified. He qualifies the called. He sees not where you are, but where he will take you. The sign of the fleece, Judges 6 verses 17 to 40. Gideon wasn't convinced. He asked for signs. First, fire consumed his offering. Later, he laid out a fleece. One night it was wet while the ground was dry, and the next night the fleece was dry while the ground was wet. Though often criticized for doubt, Gideon teaches us this. God is patient with our weakness. Faith often grows in stages. It is okay to seek God's confirmation when the task feels bigger than us. The army reduction, Judges 7 to 1 to 8. Gideon gathered 32,000 men. Impressive, but God said, too many. Why? Because Israel would claim the glory. First, 22,000 fearful men left. Then God tested the rest at the water. Only 300 passed, from 32,000 down to 300. Why? Because victory is not about numbers, but about God's power. Lesson: sometimes God reduces our resources so we will learn to trust Him fully. The battle strategy, Judges 7 to 9 to 25. Gideon was still afraid. God sent him to overhear 2 Midianite soldiers. One told a dream of a barley loaf tumbling into the Midianite camp, overturning a tent. His comrades said, "This is Gideon. God has given Midian into his hand." Strengthened, Gideon divided the 300 into 3 groups. Each carried a trumpet, a torch hidden in a jar, and a shout. No swords, no weapons. At night they surrounded the camp, broke the jars, raised the torches, blew the trumpets, and shouted, "The sword of the Lord and of Gideon." The Midianites panicked, turned on each other, and fled. Victory came without swords because the battle was the Lord's. Gideon's weakness and triumph. Judges 8 to 1 to 28. Though victorious, Gideon's story is also human. He grew weary, yet pursued the kings of Midian. He disciplined the people of Sukkot and Penuel for refusing to help. He refused kingship, rightly declaring, "The Lord shall rule over you." Yet later he made an ephod that led Israel into idolatry. Even heroes of faith can stumble. Finishing well matters as much as starting strong. Dramatic retelling. Imagine Gideon trembling in the winepress, dust sticking to his sweat. The sound of Midianite raiders fills the air. Suddenly a divine presence pierces the fear. "The Lord is with you, mighty man of valor." He looks around, surely the angel meant someone else. But no, God meant him. Fast forward, night falls. The 300 stand with clay jars, trembling hands clutching torches. The camp of Midian sprawls below like an ocean of tents. Gideon lifts his hand. Crack! The jars shatter, flames leap into the night, trumpets blare, and the cry rises like thunder. Confusion erupts below. Midianites scream, slashing one another in chaos. The impossible has happened. The fearful farmer has become a fearless deliverer. Lessons from Gideon. Number 1. God sees potential in us even when we feel weak. Like Gideon, many of us hide in fear, but God calls us mighty because of his strength. Number 2. Faith grows step by step. Gideon asked for signs. We too may need assurance, and God graciously strengthens us. Number 3. God's power works best in weakness. 300 men defeated an army because the power was God's. When life reduces us, it may be God positioning us for his glory. Number 4. The battle is the Lord's. Victory didn't come by swords, but by obedience, faith, and God's presence. Number 5. Finishing well matters. Gideon's ephod became a snare. We must guard against pride and idolatry after victory. The story of Gideon is the story of all of us. Weak, fearful, doubting yet chosen, empowered and transformed by God's Spirit. Gideon began in fear but ended in faith. He is remembered in Hebrews 11 as a hero of faith. So when life presses you into a winepress of fear, remember Gideon. God sees you not as you are, but as you can be. You may feel small, but in God's hands you are mighty. Rise up, mighty warrior, the Lord is with you.